Okay, we're live. It's so good to be here. So good to be here. If you've ever thought, what if I slow down and everything breaks? This conversation is for you because you see, what I have come to understand over the past few years is that what most founders don't say out loud, is heavier, than what they actually say. Things like they don't actually want to work less. Um, Typically, I'm sure you also don't want your business to, in the flip side, stop depending on you for everything. And yet, no matter how much you get to hire, delegate, or restructure, you still find out that for some reason decisions still come back to you, right? And it's very upsetting because you feel, oh, I can do something else with my time. I can, you know, you get very exhausted, right? Because you'll be like, oh, this person is supposed to handle this. Am I just the only one? Most times you start to realize, okay, escalations, still find a way of coming back to your decks. And then it dawns on you that stepping away actually is risky. Now, what we're going to be doing today is simple. I want to work with you today for the next few minutes to reframe what's really happening in your mind, what's really happening in your business, and why, in quotes, rest is not the solution. Why, in quotes, that's your next planned out vacation. Don't go for it. I don't even go until you do this. You set up the right operational leadership infrastructure. I'm going to break this down, but let this sink first. Anyways, that's basically what we do. Hi, Merlin. Yes, thank you so much for joining. So today, to do a quick reset, we're going to be talking about something that as founders we don't want to talk about. Something like we know that you don't need to work less anymore. I mean, all the effort you've been putting in, personally for me, I feel like you've done enough. You keep doing. So it's not the fact that you're not doing enough. It's the realization that your business needs to stop relying on you. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you for joining me. This is the behind the scenes live series. Now, this particular series is going to be leadership conversation for founders, CEOs who are thinking seriously about operational maturity, not hustle, not motivation. We're talking structure, ownership, and sustainability. As always, my name is TC Okore, and I'm a business growth strategist. You want to understand setting baselines, and that's basically what we're going to be talking about. Things like the unspoken problems that we face. I was speaking with, I was on a virtual coffee chat yesterday, and we're having this conversation, and I said, see, the things that most founders say, it's like I say something, but honestly, it's way heavier than what exactly I'm screaming in my heart. And most times we don't even show 5% of how truly we feel. When we talk about certain things, we don't actually talk about it like in 100%. We do like maybe 10% and we keep it. Why? Because sometimes we feel like, oh, if I talk about it, it might seem like, oh, I'm not a good leader, or I don't understand my business, or I don't have what it takes. No, it's it's nothing close to that. So say, for example, most founders blame time when the real issue is dependency. I have had situations where CEOs, founders, they reach out to me, experts, consultant coaches, you know, tech founders, they reach out and be like, oh, I need more time, I need more time, I need more time. It's not time. That's the problem. The real issue here is dependency. What exactly in your business is so dependent on you? Is it really necessary? Is it that if it's not dependent on you, technically, realistically, it can't be done? Think about it. Or maybe, for example, if you have your business that only runs when you're present, that's hustle. That's not scalable. And it's very fragile. Because at the end of the day, even if you're making your seven figures, six figures, honestly, when you sit down and analyze things, you realize that you are losing more than you are gaining because it's fragile. You are building on a wobbling structure, and that's scary. Now, even the exhaustion you feel, it's not from effort. Mm-mm. I've come to understand that as founders, as CEOs, when you start to feel exhausted, it's not from effort, it's from being the system. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to share something with you. The other day, somebody asked me and be like, oh, TC, how are you able to do all of these things? You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this. Don't you get overwhelmed? I'm like, no. Mm-mm. And then she'd be like, look at me, this kind of eye. And I smiled. I said, let me tell you what you're asking actually. I said, you see, what actually stresses me is not my business. It's not the work that I put in. It's not even the effort I put in. It's actually when I go away from the boundaries that I set for myself. When I don't focus on the plan, because there's always a plan, there's always a structure. When I deviate, so say for example, I focus my energy on clients who, for example, don't respect your time, don't respect um, your expertise. Now that's exhausting. It's not the business that's exhausting you, it is the client or the people who you're connected to, the people who you're attracted, that is draining your energy. Now, when we're able to get clarity around what exactly the problem is, you will start to get answers that work. You will start to implement the right things. Most times, some people be like, oh, the problem is I don't have clients. No, take that back because that's not the problem. Because when you look inwards, you realize that once you remove the actual problem, getting the clients who would bring out the best in you, because it's a mutual with that, and that's why when I work with data, I'm like, you know what, this is a partnership, this is a collaboration, because you see your energy rubs off on me. Yes, if you give me like the negative vibe, I'm not able to do anything. But if you give me like this whole let's do it, I can do it, oh my god, I'd be like, and that's why the more challenging the project is, the more excited it is for me. Because you're excited, I'm excited. I can't be happier than you that own the thing. If I am, is exhausting to me. Because then you're dragging me. So you see, at the end of the day, most times what we think is the problem is actually not the problem. And that's because we've not sat down to do a thorough audit of what exactly is happening here. You see, when everything still runs through you, it's not because your team is incapable. It's not even because you are incapable. It's not because you're not doing as much as you. Most times it's because at the moment, I would always say that your leadership is yet to be translated into structure. You're still enjoying the whole vibe of, oh, CEO vibe. I'm not saying don't enjoy it, but you see, to be a CEO, to be a founder, to be a leader, technically, it's not for the faint-hearted. No, it's not. Mm-mm. You need to be always a step ahead, and that's the reason why you need these infrastructures in place. Now, earlier I said something about understanding what the root cause is. Okay, these conversations are conversations that I really want us to think about it. I want us to sit down and ask ourselves, what exactly is happening? What do I exactly need? Like, I have sometimes people reach out to me and be like, oh, TC, I need a funnel. No. Gone are those days, how many years ago? We'd be like, oh, TC, I need a funnel. I'd be like, okay, no problem. Let's build you one. Give me what, blah, blah, blah. And then, no. This time around, I'd be like, call you. Why? Tell me why. What kind of funnel? Because there are different sales circles. A sales circle that will work for this particular person, even if you're in the same industry, might not necessarily technically be the same circle that would work for you, even if you're doing the same thing. But sometimes we just get so carried away and be like, oh, this is it. Mm-mm. The only thing you're sure of is actually your zone of genius. Every other thing, mm-mm. Don't be too carried away to think, oh, I know it. No, it's only your zone of genius because that is what you're an expert in. Every other thing, most times, you want to check so that we don't keep automating chaos in our lives, in our businesses. Now, when we talk about delegation, collaboration, partnerships, this is why what you currently have right now does not stick. Maybe you keep hiring or you keep getting people in your business to help you sort out a problem, but for some reason you think, oh, they're not giving you the results that you need. I need you to understand that most times, 80%, 85%, 90%, it's not them, it's you. Because the first things first, the vision is yours, the authority is yours. Now, you get to a stage where even decisions, rights, all of these are not clear. Now, when you don't have clarity as to what exactly you need or what exactly you want, how can anybody help you? So, say for example, you want to collaborate, you want to delegate, you even to yourself. This would definitely fail when, for example, outcomes are not owned end to end. Everybody wants to blame everybody, but nobody is sitting down to understand why exactly did this happen. Every time you hear the word help, remember it doesn't equal ownership. So, say for example, you hire a coach or you hire a consultant. Do not bear the title founder, CEO, but in the real perspective of things, you literally have handed the entire ownership to that person. Why? Because you don't want to be a part of the collaboration, you don't want to be a part of what's happening, you're just like, mm-mm. How do you want to make it work? It doesn't equal ownership. You see, your team, the support you hire, they can execute the task, they can build a strategy, do all of these things, and still rely on your leadership. It's not about all the things you're doing, it is what you're not doing. Because honestly, you're doing enough. The question is, enough of what? Is it the right things or the wrong things? I want us to think about these conversations. I mean, 2026, we're going easy, and we're just pushing out the real truth. Because see, there's no point trying to sugarcoat things and be like, oh, build the funnels, listen, your funnels are as good as your level of clarity. Because you can build a high achieving system, whatever it is, but if you don't have clarity as to what the outcome you want is, and be honest and truthful to yourself, you're literally building you have the right thing targeted to the wrong thing, to the wrong intention, or to the wrong motive. Most founders that I have seen, experienced, didn't fail at maybe partnership, collaboration, tech, delegation. No. What I believe happened here is that they delegated this task without delegating authority. You need to trust. Collaboration, delegation, partnership means actually, especially when you need to step back. It means get the right person to take the spot and trust their expertise to take ownership of what they've been asked to do while you collaborate and be a support. So you see, at this junction, when you do that, the work moves, and the thinking, the deciding, the risks still sits with them. And they are happy doing it because now it gives them this whole I'm working with you vibe, not I'm working for you vibe. It's a different kind of vibe. And honestly, those two words, in as much as you want to think that they're the same, they're not. Because at the end of the day, they mean two different things. I'm working for you. I'm working with you. It's different. And that's all of this. That's why if you've noticed how you work and all of that, that's why escalation becomes the default. Because all of these things are missing. You, even if you're the only one working in your business, you then escalate the whole frustration and the whole overwhelm of trying to figure these things out all by yourself, to your personal lives, to your relationship, to the other things you have going on, to your community. Most times you're not even aware. Earlier I said something. Um I said that vacation you're planning is not the answer. Have you seen when you say, um, I want to go on a vacation, and then you go on a vacation, and then you come back and realize that the vacation you went for actually needs another vacation. That's it. That's the energy. So what's the point? I'm saying this because I have been, but I have been in that situation, and I know so many people who have been in that situation. Until you say, "Oh, I just need to rest." No, 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 because it's you just running away. It's the same way when people say, "Oh, alcohol just makes me feel good, and then I forget my problem." For that time, that period, but it's does it clean the issue away? No. What's the point? No, it doesn't. What happens is that that's just a temporary sugarcoat. And when you're sober, you come back to realization that, hey, that issue is still there waiting for you. So do whatever you want to do, travel wherever you want to travel to, sleep for that. When you come back, you're still going to face it. I mean, you keep running and you keep running, but you cannot hide. You will still face it. So what's the point? What's the point planning a vacation that you will still need a vacation from that vacation? Think about it. I mean, that's what this conversation is about. I want us to think about it. Rest, taking that time off, it helps a lot. Don't get me wrong. It helps a lot. It helps your energy, but not the structure, because you will still come back to meet it. Time off doesn't fix dependency. Time off doesn't make your business scalable. It doesn't make your business sustainable. Operational leadership is what allows rest to actually work. And I kind of say operational leadership because I'm talking about incorporating leadership into your structure, right? Building that structure so you're able to own your business without being the business. Now here's the truth most leadership about most leadership conversations, and what technically misses out, because I see a lot of leadership coaches, right? But obviously that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you get to build this GTM, go to market systems, right? Solidify the decisions, like operationally solidify clear decisions in your business, and ensure that whatever you have ongoing is sustainable enough. You don't want to do one leg in, one leg out. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what we are talking about in this conversation. Most conversations I know you might be having most likely would skip the fact that rest, taking a time off, vacation, which I'm saying it's that I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it doesn't fix a business that depends on you. It doesn't fix a business that doesn't work. It doesn't fix a confused business. It doesn't fix a confused organization. It doesn't fix a confused team. It doesn't fix a confused owner. No, it doesn't. Systems do. Setting up that operational leadership infrastructure, in my word, is what allows your presence to become optional. What allows your decisions to bring results. And this has nothing to do with the fact that maybe you disappeared. Yeah, because most of us, that's what we do, right? We disappear. and think, and think when we come back, everything would disappear. Now, when you come back from wherever you disappeared to, you visit back. And the very sad part is that it might even get worse. That's the sad part. And you spend years and years and years trying to figure this thing out. Now, you don't come back and you don't come back to chaos when you have operational leadership infrastructure in place in your business, when you have the right systems in place in your business. I talk about the go-to-market systems, talk about, you know, setting up those, structures in your business that basically set you up for success. Now, even if you go for that rest and you come back, you're happy, you're refreshed. And that's not because you just disappeared, but because clarity now has replaced reliance. You're clear, your team is clear, your partners are clear, Everyone knows what everyone has to do. Your ideal client, your target audience are clear. How do you feel when somebody comes to you and be like, I I watched your video, or I saw your post, and every single thing you said was speaking to me. How do you feel? Now, let me tell you what mature businesses, mature organizations do differently. I'm just going to highlight it. And this is just to paint the contrast. So you have like a picture of what you can start to envision for yourself. Now, it looks like clear decision lanes, defined ownership, not roles, ownership. Now, leadership infrastructure that scales. Okay. And I know most times I hear people be like, "Oh, um, do you only work with big businesses?" And I'm like, "What do you mean by big businesses?" Every business looking to scale, looking to grow needs this. Now, the earlier you incorporate it, the earlier you have a structured workflow, the earlier you are able to predict and determine the outcome of whatever you're doing, the outcome of your systems, predict it. The earlier you're able to put that structure in place, the better for you, the better for the business. So if you're just starting now, put it now, because you want to start to grow and start to scale effortlessly from the get go, because it's easier to prevent certain things than to start to fix it. It's very expensive to fix things. A very treatment, you all know, eh? And I think initial stage you'd be like, oh no, um, I don't have investment. Listen, when it dawns on you that, oh my gosh, there's a problem, then you will need to treat it, you need to fix it. And now it's not going to be double the effort, double the time, double the financial investment, double every single thing when you would have just avoided it. So I'm going to repeat myself. This is what mature businesses do differently. Clear decision lanes, defined ownership, not roles, ownership, leadership infrastructure that scales. Talk about the systems you put in place, the clear decisions that have been set, structured, so everyone in your organization knows what they need to do, how they need to do it clearly, without assumption. Everyone is happy in their zone of genius because they're clear as to what they need to do, and they're moving in that direction, in the direction of your vision. In mature businesses, and when I say mature businesses, I'm not talking about the size or how much. I'm talking about the clarity within the business, within the founder, within the leadership team. In mature businesses, decisions don't bottleneck. Ownership does not escalate, and leadership is not trapped in one person. I know it doesn't happen accidentally, as some of us might think. Oh, they just get it. Oh, it's because they have money. Oh, we always just have all the excuses, right? No, it's not because they do. It's not. It doesn't happen accidentally. It's designed. It's intentional. It's the same way you'll be like, oh, okay, you know what? I want to automate this. You want to automate what? Most of us don't even know what we want to automate. And so we find ourselves automating chaos, sending out the wrong communication to the wrong people, or sending out the right communication to the wrong people, or vice versa. Always pitching to the wrong persons. And then you're complaining that I don't have clients. I don't have buy. Listen, have you ever sat down to ask yourself, who are these people I'm talking to? These people I keep pushing out content to, people I keep reaching out to. Are they even the people I want? Are they people that really need what I have? Because if they keep saying no, they don't want it. Okay, even if they want it, do they have the funds for it? Have you sat down to figure out, do they have the funds for it? How do I connect to the people who need what I have and have the right investment to get it? Because those people are available. You just need to position yourself where they are. Now, this, it doesn't happen by, oh, she's, no, she's something online visible. No, that's not it. It's an intentional design. Now, if you're listening to this or you're watching the replay and you're thinking, this is exactly where we are, this is exactly where we are, then you're not behind. I believe that you are at that leadership threshold. Because honestly, this is a stage where founders, CEOs stop asking, how do I do more? And then start asking, how do I build something that moves without me? Something that really works. How do I build something that walks with the flow and the clarity that I want? How do I build something that resonates with me, aligns with my mission and my vision, and also resonates and align with the community that I am building? How do I build something that stand the test of time? How do I take ownership of the positive outcome or the outcomes that I envision at the end of my launch, or at the end of, I mean, you have launches, you can't, you're like, oh, let me just do it. That's as most I'm like, most of the time we have launches, I'm like, no, there's a difference between launch and release. So tell me, are you launching or are you releasing? Let's know the one you're doing now. And this is the stage. And I'm happy to let you know that that's the work I do quietly with founders, CEOs, one on one, translating leadership, clear decisions into structure and growth sustainably. Now, what I do is I translate the leadership that they have in their organization, in their business, to structure, structure they can depend on, workflow that works, systems that gives results. And then I translate growth into sustainability. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for being here. It's always good to have these conversations. I call it the behind the scene because we're talking about real conversation. Conversations that I know you don't want to talk about it, but it's in your heart. And that's why we're going to be doing this bi-weekly. And I'm going to help you out, bring it out, like bring it out. So even if we can't talk about it, I want you to realize it and I want you to work on it. So if this conversation resonated with you, if it sits, I want you to just come back, watch this replay, watch it again. Let it sit with you. Because the question here isn't, how do I work less? The question here is, what needs to change so my business no longer relies on me? What needs to change so that I can start to experience the sustainable growth I can depend on in my business? All right. That's it from me today. Thank you for being here. Thank you so, so much. As I mentioned, this is going to be bi weekly, and I can't wait to see you on the next behind the scenes live. See you on the Oprah Week.